I wanted to share my story with you guys so that you can get to know me a little bit better. I grew up in a very tiny little town in the northeastern corner of Montana. And just this little tiny town, farming community, and we grew up really poor. I was the oldest of 6 kids, and my dad was kind of in and out of work quite a bit. And we grew up on food stamps and welfare and WIC and things like that. And I just knew growing up that I didn't want to be poor. I would hear my parents arguing about money, and my dad say things like, well, which bill can we pay? If we pay a bill, then we don't have propane to heat the house in the winter. And I didn't like the tension over money, over finances. And I just felt it so many times that, we just didn't have enough. I'd go to school, and instead of having the little tickets, we would have another thing because we were on government support. And we had to buy all of our clothes from the secondhand store, and we'd get our back to school shopping done there. And it was just, I didn't like it. I didn't want it. I didn't want that type of pressure and tension when I had my own family. I remember one morning I woke up early because it was freezing cold, and I could see my breath. And I remember thinking that saying that my dad said, well, we won't have enough money for propane. And we had run out of propane, and it was winter time in northeastern Montana. It's freezing cold winters. And I remember thinking that I didn't want my siblings, my younger siblings, to know how poor we were. And so I got my sisters, my stepmom was still sleeping, and I got my sisters into the bathroom. And there was a little space heater, and I plugged in this little space heater in the bathroom. And I was doing their hair, and we were singing songs, and just trying to forget about the situation that we were in. And I just saw parents go through divorce twice because of just not having enough, and arguments and those things. And so I just felt like that was a big part of their happiness. And so as I grew up, I knew that there was no money for college. And so I was told, work hard in school and get good grades or something. And so after I grew up and I graduated, my graduating class of 18 people in Medicine Lake, Montana, there wasn't a lot of opportunity for women to get jobs. And again, we had no money. So I moved out to California with the idea that I was gonna get a good job, and I was gonna work and pay my way through school, and maybe even send money back home to my family. That was the goal. And so I started working. The first jobs I got were just walking distance, Blockbuster Video, and a 99-cent store, so that I could save money to buy myself a car. And I bought this horrible 89 Dodge Daytona I got from this used car lot. But I had a car, I had freedom, and I could go now get a decent job. And so I started working in a corporate environment. I got a job at a health club, and I was managing this gym, big corporation. And I quickly moved up to assistant manager and then manager based on my work ethic. I was managing people twice my age. And I thought that was a great job. At 22 years old, I was making like $70,000 a year, which was way more than most of my friends, but it came with long hours. I was working sometimes 11 to 11, 10, 12-hour days sometimes. And at first, I thought this is an easy, no-brainer job. While people trying to improve themselves, this will be a fun job while I'm going to school. But again, with those hours, I had to go less and less to school. And so after about 4.5 years there, I hit an income ceiling. I couldn't make any more money. I don't know if any of you have felt that way, being in corporate America, where you hit that glass ceiling. And it wasn't just about the money, it was that I had stopped growing. I had stopped learning. I was doing the same thing every single day. I'd get up, go to work, go home, go to bed, do the same thing all over again the next day. And I just felt like I wasn't making an impact, I wasn't making a difference. And then when I hit that income ceiling, there was no light at the end of that tunnel. And so I thought, if nothing changes, nothing changes. This is not what I wanted for my family. This is not the lifestyle I wanted. I wanted to be able to put my kids first, be at all of their games, not miss anything. And I realized that even some of my managers in this corporate world, they didn't get to see their kids. They were working just as much as I did, and they'd been there longer than I was. And so I started getting more and more dissatisfied. And I started looking for other opportunities. I started seeing what's out there, and I thought, well, who's gonna pay me, 22 years old, this kind of money without a college degree? And so I started getting really frustrated. I had a friend that said, do real estate. And I looked into it, I got my real estate license, but I realized real fast I didn't want to do that industry. I didn't want to be commission only, driving people around, and having too many things outside of my control for my pay. And so then again, I got more and more frustrated, just feeling like I had stopped learning and growing. And so just luckily I met someone at the gym, and she said, oh, you're so nice, you're so helpful. Have you ever thought of doing something else? And to me, I thought, dream come true, right? I had been discovered or something, and I was so hungry for change in my life that I said, sure, what is it? Tell me what your husband does. And so she said, well, come in and meet with him. And it was a financial industry. I knew nothing about anything financial. I had never had any leadership experience. I had never, right? But I decided to go in business for myself. And the best decision I ever made. Was it easy? Absolutely not. It was hard. I had to learn a whole new industry. I had to work probably even longer hours in the beginning because I was just studying and learning and trying to soak up as much as I could. But you know what? It was exciting. I had finally started learning and growing again, and I was learning something that I could make a difference in others' lives. And I had found something I was passionate about. My number one advice to people is figure out what you're passionate about, figure out what you love to do. And for me, it wasn't about the financial stuff, it was about helping others, helping people. So I started it in my own business. In the beginning, it was a little bit of a struggle. My big vision was just to be able to make the same money I was making, but have control of my time. To be able to put my family first, to be able to control my schedule and not have a boss have their thumb on me and tell me when I could see my kids and how much money I could make. So my big vision was just replacing my income and controlling my time. And I did that. I did well more than that, over that my first year. But then I just fell in love with mentoring and coaching others. To help them improve their quality of life, help them to get out of the situation that they were stuck in, and to be able to have their own business and be able to have their family come first. And then I just became obsessed on creating this great environment where people can come in and have their business, and their idea of success is their idea of success. I have sometimes people come in part-time with me that are single moms that just want to live in a better neighborhood and put their kids through a certain school. Then I have guys that want to conquer the world and have offices all over the country and in China, and that's awesome. So I love our environment that we've created where someone can come in and do it at their own pace, build their business, create a better quality of life, be able to put their family first. And so I did that, and I've done that for 20 years, and I love it. My husband and I met in the business. We were actually pretty new. We were the only younger people in the office at the time, and we were sitting kind of in the front row, taking notes, just trying to soak everything up. And my husband Sean's like, "Are you cold? Do you want to wear my jacket?" and he just started saying things like, "Well, I learned these things. Can I teach you?" And we became great friends. We became great friends first, and we would help each other in the business. And then we fell in love. We actually got married on a company trip in Hawaii, and we've been kind of just on the same page ever since, with creating this great life for our kids, for our family, for our extended family, but also to be able to have, again, complete control of our time, to be able to not be at the mercy of the economy ever again. And that we can always, just be completely in control of what we want for our future. And so we built the business together for 20 years. From there, we've opened up offices all over the country, mentored and coached thousands of people. We've coached people to become six-figure earners, even seven-figure earners, and we love it. And so now kind of our philosophy has shifted a little bit to, you can win big time, you can make multiple millions of dollars a year, but still have this big city income, but a small town lifestyle. You can have it where you put your kids first. Your spouse can even stay at home, and that you can have your main focus be your faith and your family. Most people have a job, and everything revolves around that. I believe that the core unit should be your family, and that your business or what you do is just an extension of what you stand for and who you are. And so we've evolved into trying to create more and more people that are happy and strong entrepreneurs that can have it all, if you will. That they can have their faith always come first, their family always come next, and then be able to travel, be able to have strong financial foundation, that they're not stressed out. What good would it be if you were successful in business and you have all this money, but you're divorced, or your kids don't like you, or you're sick, and you're spending all of your money on frivolous, materialistic things. And so we try to create philanthropists, we try to create visionaries, we try to create happy and strong entrepreneurs, couples, and individuals.